Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com. Welcome to our 2023 ski test. Today we're going to talk about the Black Crow's Corvus. This thing is wild. I'll just go out and say, in today's day and age, you don't see a lot of skis like the Corvus. That doesn't mean that it's a bad ski by any means. It just means that it's quite unique. So let's kind of run through the things that make it unique. To start, we're 107 underfoot here. So this is a pretty big ski. We're squarely in the freeride category. You could call it powder category as well. It is a big ski. This is not a small ski by any means. Pretty long turn radius, 21 meter turn radius. So it's not the longest thing in the world, but yeah, I'd say it's fair to say that it's got a straighter cut than a lot of skis, especially when you get up this wide. Perhaps the most interesting thing about its shape, or the most unique thing about its shape, is you could pretty much describe this ski as reverse camber, although Black Crow's describes it as flat underfoot with tip and tail rocker. And really, that is the perfect description of it. When you put a fully rockered ski on a table like this, you can really pivot it and move it around. It never feels like it's sitting flat on the table. This does. You can tell that it's got a long contact point, but then if we go up here and push down on the tip, you can see that whole ski pickup. So flat through most of the underfoot section of the ski, and then pretty long but low splay tip and tail rocker. So same thing in the tip and the tail there. You can see that there's a little rise back there. So basically flat, which is extremely rare. You just don't see that very often. And then we also get a wood core in this ski, but we get 2 full sheets of metal too. So just off the top of my head, I can't actually think of any other Black Crow skis that actually use 2 full unbroken sheets of metal. We have a lot of skis from Black Crows with that H-shaped metal. The Corvus has full length, full width, 2 sheets of metal. So add up all those things and it's just a unique recipe for a ski. But like I said, it's not a bad ski. It's just, it's unique. There's a certain application for it, which we'll talk about in just a second here. Before we do, let's look at weight. All that metal, I'd say impressively, it's still just barely over 2,000 grams. So I don't think anybody, if you know anything about ski weights and stuff like that, no one would really expect this to be under 2,000 grams with that much metal and that size. This is a 183.4. So just the fact that it's not 2,300 grams, I think is relatively impressive. Now, we talked about its uniqueness, and I said that there is a certain application for it, and there really is. And when you think about that application, it's one of the best skis for that skier. So when I think about this ski, I really think about an aggressive, high-speed skier who likes to ski ungroomed, big mountain, relatively steep terrain. Maybe big mountain is kind of a bit of an exaggeration, but that's at least where I think you should put your mind, and I'd say there's a gray area to how you define big mountain as well. Are the upper chutes at your local mountain, does that count as big mountain, or do you have to be dropped off by a helicopter? Who knows? Wherever your opinion falls, wherever on that spectrum, that's really where I think this ski shines. So you should like to ski fast. You should like to ski aggressively, right down the fall line, with some speed, with some purpose. That's really how I think about the Corvus. If this ski was this build, this construction, this stiff flex pattern, if it had that build and it wasn't flat underfoot, it would be an absolute handful. And I'm not going to stand here and say that it's easy to ski. It's not. It's not for beginners. It's not for intermediates by a long stretch. But because they built in that shape, they at least added a touch of forgiveness to it. So if it was this build and all camber, or mostly camber, the ski would be yeah, it'd be a lot. It'd be a handful even for the best skiers in the world. So having this flat section with tip and tail rocker does allow for easier edge release than if it were purely camber or mostly camber or even any camber at all. So that certainly helps, and that's a really beneficial performance characteristic. You know, if you're skiing fast and direct lines in the backcountry or in a big mountain setting, you do need to have the ability to get the skis sideways and dump a bunch of speed. And maybe you need to do that on a moment's notice. You know, you don't have much to prepare you when things go wrong in the backcountry or when things go unplanned. It happens so very quickly. So this ski, although it is strong, although it is extremely powerful, there is a side to it where you get some forgiveness. So crazy ski, super unique. Black Crow's Corvus. Let us know if you have any questions about it, and we'll see you out there on the hill.